believe everybody is here. We're going to get started here. And the first up to play is Stella Means, and she's going to play Part of Your World. So there will be roses for you guys afterwards, too. Next up is Ella Roberts playing the Flintstones.
Next up, we have Jackson Dvorak, and he's going to be playing Forest Drums.
All right, next up we have Mia Anderson playing The Crawling Spider.
All right. There we go. All right, next up is Sienna Odd with What Do Witches Eat? I know everyone's thinking there's only one rose left, but this is not The Bachelor.
Topical.
We're getting to our taller students now. Next up is Hannah Levitt playing A Groovy Kind of Love.
Next up, we have Adelaide Stern, who's going to be doing Dance from 24 Little Pieces by Kavaleski. And next up, we have Seth Abramson, who's going to be doing the Pizzicato Polka.
right, next up we have Ben Breitbeck playing Star Wars main theme. To get the rose.
And next up is Tanner Odd, who's going to play Cossack Ride.
Next, we have Gia Weiss playing the Willow Tree Waltz. And next up is Jacob Pikus, who's going to play He's a Pirate.
it's going to happen now. So don't leave your seats just yet. Earlier today we had 3 recitals, and at the 12 o'clock recital we gave away an award called the Caitlin Glennon Award of Musical Awesomeness. And this is an award that we give to students that have, it's seniors, so graduating seniors, and they have sought out something with their music above and beyond what was required of them. More than what we asked of them, their families asked of them, maybe their schools as well. And so that went to Jacob Rose at the 12 o'clock, and he got it for piano. At the 1 o'clock, we gave away another award, and this is a new award. So Leo Schlafer actually is our inaugural recipient for this award, and it's called the Reaching for the Brass Ring. So really quick, how many people have ridden on a carousel or a merry-go-round? Okay, of the people that have ridden on a carousel or merry-go-round, how many of you guys have heard the term reaching for the brass ring? Of you guys, how many of you guys know that the two are related? All right, we got a handful back there. So, if you're old enough to have seen The Lost Boys, you will have seen The Brass Ring, that movie from the 80s about vampires in Santa Cruz. So in Santa Cruz, California, there's a place called the Boardwalk, and the Boardwalk is a cool carnival place, and they have one of these very old carousels that is basically, it's about 100 years old. It's probably a little older than that by now. And there's not many of these carousels left. And so the brass ring is a little device that's off to the side, and if you're sitting on the outside horse, you can reach up, you can grab one of these rings, and then as the thing is spinning around, there's a target, and you try to throw it in the target, and if you get in the target, yeah, you win a prize. Lights goes off, some buzzers, and it's really cool. The reason why we call this the Reaching for the Brass Ring Award is because being a musician is a lot like that if you're trying to go into being a musician for the performance aspect of it, for the getting up on stage and performing for others. And that is something that Leo is basically trying to do. So basically, as a musician, you get in the line for the ride. And once they open up the gates, you're hoping that you get on that fastest horse that's on the outside. And once you're on that fastest horse that's on the outside, you got to be brave. You got to like hang out onto the side and try to snatch that brass ring, and hoping that that brass ring is actually there when you pass it by and it hasn't been snaked up by somebody else. And then once you got it, you don't want to hold on to it. You're looking for that target, and you're hoping your aim is true as you give it a chuck. And then you hope you get it in so that you win the prize. And the prize for us is that we get another round on that merry-go-round. We get to keep going again and again for as long as possible. So with that, best of luck, Leo, as you go forth into this crazy, crazy world of trying to be a musician. Good luck to you. So Andy and Leo are actually going to be doing Bach's first invention as arranged for 2 saxophones. Thank you.
So this is the part where I get to embarrass Leo a little bit here. Leo came to me as a 5th grader, so I had Leo in lessons for many, 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 many years. And last year, I gave him away. He told me he wanted to pursue music as a career. He wanted to go to college. He wanted to get a degree in music. And me, I have very few connections. And I don't know very many colleges, so I don't have a good sense of where to send him. So I gave him to someone much bigger and better than I am, who had a lot more connections and knew a lot more about that aspect. So I was very sad to give him up, because Leo is not just a wonderful student and wonderful saxophone player. He's also a very, very marvelous person. At the end of every lesson, and all of my students know this, the last thing I always say is, do you have any questions? And that's a very open-ended thing, because it sounds like I'm asking about the music or about what they learned today, but it could be anything. And some of my students take me up on that. Every lesson since 5th grade, Leo has always had something to ask me. As a matter of fact, this past week when we were getting ready for this, he came in and we looked at some music. We played through some stuff to decide what to actually play as a duet. Of course, I fall back into teacher mode and I say, you have any questions? And he asked me something. I don't even remember what it is. But he's always asked. And that's a great, great thing, because it's this communication, this two-way street of communication, which I always try to instill with the students. Because I'm going to talk to you, and hopefully you will talk to me too, and that helps the whole learning process. So Leo went on to a bigger, better teacher, and this past year he's auditioned at about 5 different college universities. He auditioned at Eastman School of Music. He auditioned at Northwestern out in Chicago. He auditioned at St. Olaf and the U of M and Michigan. And right now he's in that very, very nervous senior stage of waiting for them to tell him that he's been accepted. So hopefully he gets the school he wants and the teachers that he wants. But this award that we created, we decided is going to be a very prestigious thing. And we're not giving it out to everybody. It has to be a student who not just, oh yeah, I want to keep doing music, but really has the passion for sitting in their little practice room for hours a day and getting better. And that's what Leo's done. And that's how he's gotten to be such a great musician as well as a wonderful human being. So, good job. Say what? I can't read lips.
Just wanted to say before we sign off here, thank you for supporting your kids. Thank you for supporting us. Kids, thank you for all of the practice and for putting up with us and listening for us. And when we tell you to do things that seem kind of weird in the middle of lessons, thanks to our mom and dads who are in the very back row by all those pictures there. Bill, Connie, Linda, Ricardo, thank you for everything that you've done to help us. Jim and Linda are here from My Music Store. They have Jim's great grandniece who's playing today. And so thank you for everything you've done to get us this far and for being here. We're so excited to have you at the 2 o'clock. There's cookies, there's juice, there's water, there's cheese sticks, there is many carrots. Please go and have a little bit of reception on us, and we look forward to seeing everybody this week.